right before we went live, and luckily I reset the modem and got it back up, but I was like, I'm about to have one of those moments where I just can't do anything.
Yeah, adding that light, I feel like really helped.
Why? I've got that, like, I wonder if I can hit cancel. That's my stuff up. Yep. Alright, cool. Anybody in the chat yet? No. We got two. It's us. Okay, so it's me and some mysterious stranger. For real? Should be live for 1 minute now. You see it? Martin Keever, I think you can hear us. Can you hear me, Mark? No, I don't think so. Maybe you. Oh yeah, you can.
Oh snap!
Oh God, I've been exposed. What's up, you guys? How you doing this Thursday evening? Do I need to bring the energy up? Let's try that again. What's up, guys? How you doing this Thursday evening? I'm Jeremy, and Movies Are Terrible. And joining me, as always, co-host and the Tyler Perry of podcasts, Caleb Miles.
What exactly does that mean?
It means black people are into you, black women in particular are into you, but nobody else gets it.
That's very true, actually. I don't know. I don't even think my wife's into me, so maybe it isn't true.
How you been, man?
Good, dude. Just been working around the house, getting my desk together, doing a bunch of shit, trying to get this place painted, ordering artwork. And I almost bought a computer today. I had to take a step back. I was looking at the NZXT builds.
Uh-huh.
And it was the creator one with like an i9 10 core 3090 64 gigs of RAM for $4,500. I put it in my cart and I stared at it for like 45 minutes.
Oh
and
boy!
Finally, was like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to be a responsible adult, not do this.
Thank you, Mark McKeever. Much appreciated. We're doing good, guys. Thank you very much for stopping by for the episode. We've got some fun stuff planned for this evening. We've got a couple of weird news headlines, a couple of Florida Man headlines, and then we're going to lean into some of the movie stuff because we've got a lot of topics to discuss.
Because we have actual movie news?
We do. It's getting to be that time of year.
It's kind of exciting now.
And by the way, I didn't even say it just now. Your fucking setup is fantastic, dude. What a great upgrade.
It's slowly getting there, man. My boom arm is officially mounted on the wall.
Nice.
Pretty soon, I'm going to have pictures here that are all, of course, nerd related.
Yeah. And you actually showed me a couple of the prints, and you've got some really cool shit on the web.
They're kind of cool, man. They're kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it all put together. I feel like we're both kind of just continuing to build things out and lean into what we do best.
It's slowly coming together, man, now that I actually have a room.
Yeah, absolutely. That will definitely help. So before we do get started, I feel like I need to make some amendments because people seem to take stuff very literally in the comment section on YouTube. And I'm not saying you guys that are in the chat right now, you are so accustomed to us at this point that you just roll with it, I suppose. But like when new people come into the scenario, a lot of times they don't get that what I'm saying is actually hyperbolic. Like I don't mean most of what I say. Like last week, I made a comment about things that would make me turn off a movie were competent women and Asians. So I wanted to walk that back and explain my joke.
Yeah, you can't make sarcasm on the internet anymore.
They don't get it. No, dude. I was talking about toxic Star Wars fans. Yes. And
yeah.
So that you're right. And that's tough because like 50% of what I say is hyperbole. 50% of it is sarcasm, and the other half is me not knowing math.
No, it was one of those things. I think everyone, like the new normal people, I got your joke. I knew you were actually making fun of people who think that way,
Yes, correct.
not being a person who thinks that way.
You put it on paper and all of a sudden it's like, I can't believe he said
Yeah.
that. You know, you take all the context away from it. But yeah, for every offensive thing I've ever said, I just want to apologize now. Just go ahead and get it out of the way. For any offensive thing that I say in the future, I'm sorry. This is my apology video. We're putting it at the top of the podcast. So nobody knows that I'm actually apologizing. But check out Movies Are Terrible on Patreon. Take a look at the different tiers and decide which one is right for you. If you want to consider supporting a heathen, then you can decide which tier is right for you. And yeah.
There is a heathen tier.
There's a heathen in here?
No, there's a heathen tier.
Oh, yes, correct. It's actually brand new. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot it, but Caleb is correct. Heathen tier, $65.
It's $666. That's how much it is.
God, dude, that's why you should be hosting. Just let me sit in the back, dude. Just let me fucking take a back seat. It's been a long week. I've been so invested in this toxic back and forth over that stupid video. I gotta turn my notifications off, dude. I gotta do it. But it's made me realize I don't think I was prepared. I'm like, this is the proving ground to whether or not I can be a YouTuber, is how many hurtful comments can you get in a day before it breaks you?
Yeah, no, you can't read comments. It sucks because there's like so many good people in the community, like literally everyone, but then one or two bad people ruin it.
Yeah. The cat drums 3. Yeah, that was also kind of the thing about it. I shouldn't say joke. It's like satire, I guess. I'm being a smart ass. But yeah, I definitely thought about that afterwards and was like, damn, with all the stuff going on in the Asian community right now, maybe I should have clarified, but it seems so on the nose to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I got it, but we also live in a post-joke society now. So
yeah. What's up, Christopher Branch? How you doing, man? Thank you for stopping by to check this out. So what have you been watching, Caleb? We'll go ahead and switch gears and actually talk about some stuff. Sorry, I've been wrapped up in this shit. Please.
I have been watching literally nothing. No, I've been watching Catfish. That's what I've been watching, the new season of Catfish.
There's a new season.
Well, it's new for me. I mean, it's COVID, so it's like all remote Catfish. And it's like I've been working a lot, so it's a perfect like shut my brain off and watch at the end of the day.
Would you say that the early seasons are better? Does it get better as it goes along? Is there one that you like?
I loved I feel like the earlier seasons were a little more like not as judgy of the catfish, which I kind of want to judge the catfish. So there's a part of me that just wants trash TV where I'm like, look at these psychos.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's what I would imagine that's what I would watch it for, is that like kind of, you look at a car accident, a train wreck. Is that the expression? Train wreck? Yeah. Never look at car accidents, y'all. Just kidding.
Just look at train wrecks. That's so much better.
They're less personal, dude. When there's that many people on board that die, it's like all of a sudden it loses all meaning. You know what I mean?
No, that's unless one survives, and then you have the setup for Unbreakable.
Correct. And it all comes back around to movies. Thank you, Caleb. So, dude, there's a series called Dota based on Defenders of the Ages, or I believe is what it's called. It's a massive
based
online
on
battle arena.
Video? Yeah.
Video game?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
And it is sick. It's called Dota Dragon's Blood. And I watched the first season. I'm actually rewatching the first season because it's badass sword and sorcery, dragon fighting, great anime. Highly recommended. I'm not saying you're going to like it, but I am always craving something fantasy related.
Netflix, or what's it on?
Netflix, yep.
It just sounded like a Netflix anime.
It is, yeah. That's a good call. With all of the stuff that they do over there, it kind of fits into that scheme of things. But, dude, I highly recommend it because I'm not always the anime one. I would be curious what your take is, having a lot more exposure to it.
Yeah, I'd love to check it out. I've been watching more Attack on Titan, the anime you should be watching. And it's getting incredible.
That's correct. I really should. The thing about Dota is, I watched the first season. A lot of times I'm really guilty in anime in particular of just watching it. And I'm not paying attention like I should. So I'll go back and rewatch it.
I do that with a lot of like TV shows in
Yeah.
general. Like I'll watch like 3 episodes. I'm like, what the hell did I watch? And I
Yeah.
have to rewatch it anyway.
Relatable, man. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. And then I saw this horror movie available on Amazon Prime called The Dark and the Wicked.
It's a cool name.
It is a horror film that's like a very rural, that word sucks, rural version of Hereditary, but I hate to compare it directly to Hereditary because it's actually, I don't think it's in the same class of movies as Hereditary, but it's really good as far as being a character study. The performances are really good, but when it's all said and done, it's like, what does it really matter? Like, it didn't leave a very lasting impression.
Yeah, and it wasn't one of those things that like stuck with you either way.
There's one particular scene in it, and I don't want to spoil it, but it was very, very cringe. Nowhere like on the level of what happens with Millie Shapiro in Hereditary, but a very shocking and disturbing scene that kind of sets everything in motion.
Good cringe like that, like the scene in Hereditary.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Cringe is one of those things that goes either way. Like I literally like, oh my God, it was a very physical.
When I saw Hereditary, that scene, ooh,
yeah.
Regardless of my opinions on the entire film, that scene is just like, ooh,
changes the whole vibe in the movie
It's
theater.
incredible scene. Incredible scene.
For people that like to watch that stuff, which is, not for everyone, but and then the last thing that I saw, and I told you before we started recording, this is more for the people in the chat and the people that are listening in playback every Thursday night at 6 p.m. CST. You can catch this podcast live if you want to stop by and be a part of the conversation. But I watched Battlefield Earth on Tubi for my next watch along. Have you seen it?
Battlefield Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, this the John Travolta Scientology movie.
Yes.
L. Ron Hubbard. Yes, I have seen it.
And
I actually have. It's horrible. It's bad. That's a consensus though, right? That's not controversial.
No, not a hot take, but I don't want to give anything away, but I will say it was for me, it was exactly what I wanted it to be.
I saw it when it came out, so I would have to I was a teenager when it came out. I actually have an interesting Scientology story, though. Did I ever tell you about the time I went to the Church of Scientology in New Mexico?
No, I have never heard this story. I'm a little bit bothered by the fact that I haven't, but let's talk through this.
So my brother, I was probably, I don't know, 17, 18 at the time. And my brother was in I forgot what class it was, but in college, they said, go into a situation you're uncomfortable with, be exposed to a situation you don't know, and then write a paper about it. So we went to Scientology, and he's like, do you want to come? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to come. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And so we went, and it was an interesting experience. We walked in, it was very cult-like. We walked into this little tiny room in like a strip mall. And there were just like these foldable like chairs just lined up in rows. And there was this giant picture of L. Ron Hubbard, like huge, just on this like easel and just right up at the front. And we got there early and we were just sitting there. And of course, there's like 20 people in this whole room. That's all that would fit. And then they take out their Bible, which is like a scrapbook full of like newspaper clippings of shit he said. And they just start reading it all. And then the second you get out of there, you walk out and you walk through a bookstore and they instantly start pitching you
on his books or on Scientology?
On his book. Okay. Just all of it. Well, his books, Scientology, anything. They start trying to sell you, which, I mean, to be fair, is a part of most religions, is a lot of business. But
yeah,
it was very interesting. And these people were like so excited to have some new blood in their thing that they really were aggressive with trying to get us like 100% because they're like, what brought you? And we were just like, hey, we're kind of want to check it out. We've heard good things about it. And just, they were like, these people are young. Let's get them in the cult and then let's rape the shit out of them. That was
90% of your income is to go to Scientology. Holy shit.
Really? Is that the actual thing?
It's what they say. I don't know how true that is, but they ask for 90%. So you've got to be like the richest of the rich to be able to do it. I always think of Tom Cruise and John Travolta, but when you were actually in the service or the sermon, they were reading stuff that L. Ron Hubbard had wrote, or they were like doing the gospel thing, but for Scientology.
No, they were just like reading like some things that he wrote, some things that like news articles wrote about him. It was literally like a fucking scrapbook with like glue sticks, and they threw that shit on there.
What did it
It
look
was
like a
interesting.
rich place?
No, not at all. It was sketchy.
Interesting.
The book was like this leather bound, looked like fucking Necronomicon, was just like sitting up there, you know.
All
And
right.
it was interesting experience.
And you would go back.
I would go back for an experience just because I find shit like this super fascinating.
I was totally leading the witness there. And you would go back.
Yes, I would.
Good. Yeah, that's crazy, Caleb. I had no idea you did that. I would love to get a video of going to the Church of Scientology someday.
You should. I'm sure there's one in Florida. There's all the crazy shit in Florida. There's definitely Scientology.
Yeah, man. I don't know if there's anything else I watched, so we're gonna go ahead and switch over to this week's weird news headlines. I got 3 of them, followed by 2 Florida Man headlines, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the Fast Saga trailer, the Army of the Dead trailer, Pete Davidson being cast as Joey Ramone. We're gonna talk about Mads Mikkelsen and Harrison Ford, as well as Phoebe Waller-Bridge and the sequel to Indiana Jones, and then we're gonna jump into a couple of these fantastic Patreon questions that we have here at the end. So, first weird news headline. 9,000 pennies paycheck. Caleb, do you remember that story?
I do remember the story. This was the guy who, like, it was his former employer, right? Like, he quit or something, and they just dropped pennies on his driveway.
He quit. They refused to give him the last paycheck, so he went to like the Better Business Bureau, whatever, institution that he went to, and said, hey, they didn't give me my check, they're withholding my money. So the boss came over with a truckload of oily pennies, 9,000 pennies, and just dumped them out in his driveway with a note that eloquently stated, fuck you. So that's crazy.
Very, very mature.
Yes. Wow. What a spiteful employer.
No, I mean, that's crazy. I've had some spiteful employers in the past, but that's next level.
Yes. So Coinstar heard about this story, as we did. They probably actually, thinking about it now, they probably heard it here on the Movies Are Terrible Live podcast.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
we need to do something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, these people brought the hard-hitting news. We need to tune in.
So Huffington Post reported that Coinstar intervened. For the 9,000 pennies, they showed up and they gave him $1,000. Now, for you folks at home, that means he actually made $100 from having them come and pick up the pennies because he got a $900 paycheck. So yeah, a little bit of extra compensation for him. He didn't have to deal with all those oily pennies. They didn't actually drop it in a Coinstar. That would have been dope, but they obviously have some means of switching the money out. That's just good business, right, Caleb?
That's great PR for them. I mean, people are talking about it. I guarantee you there's a couple of people who never heard of Coinstar. I don't know how, but that heard this story and were like, what's Coinstar? And Google it.
Yeah. Have you ever used one?
Hell yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was a poor kid, man.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Coinstar.
Yeah. I got so many bags of weed off of spare change getting dumped into a Coinstar.
Mine are, I bought anime box sets. That's how cool I was.
Yeah, dude, shout out to Coinstar. I do think that was really good business. It's cool to see businesses like almost step out as if there's like, they always say corporations are like people, and it's nice to see like a personality kind of come out of the business, and to see Coinstar do something positive like that is great. But they're not the only ones that have been in the news over the week making positive changes to the world, because according to Huffington Post, Neil deGrasse Tyson went on to, and this I think is actually a good conversation for me and you to have. It reminds me of a discussion that we've had.
Yes.
Okay, we're on the same page then.
This is we've had this almost exact conversation before.
So Steakum starts bizarre Twitter beef at Steakums and beef with Neil deGrasse Tyson. And many experts ended up taking the side of Steakum. I know that's like a little swerve there at the end, but they sided with Steakum. Neil deGrasse Tyson's original tweet says, the good thing about science is that it's true, whether or not you believe it. All right, that's the original tweet. And then Steakum's, their original reply was, log off, bro.
Which is hilarious.
Pretty
it's so
funny.
Hilarious.
Pretty
That's
good.
Funny.
And then Steakum's following up says, the irony of Neil's tweet is that by framing science itself as quote unquote true, he's influencing people to be more skeptical of it in a time of unprecedented misinformation. This is the part that really hit me deep. Science is an ever-refining process to find truth, not a dogma. No matter his intent, the message isn't helpful.
They are 100% correct.
Right?
Science is the pursuit of truth. There's also this thing of like science is not ruled by committee. That's another thing. Oh, 99% of scientists agree. Well, yeah, most scientists used to agree the world was flat. There was one man who did it.
Yeah.
It's science is not by committee. It's by truth. They're not always hand in hand. Now, I think it's fucking random that Steakums just like took this to heart, but it's Steakums is right. I mean, 100%. It's the pursuit of truth.
Okay, so we're not running into a ideological inconsistency to say is the good thing about science is that it's true, but if science is ever changing, then is the truth true?
No. Science is not true. Science, it's such a weird thing because science is an action almost of, like I said, of finding truth. Science and facts are not the same thing. There's a lot of things that we hypothesize to the best of our ability that, as far as we understand them, that something could come out tomorrow that throws that truth out the window, and everything we knew is completely out, and we have to readjust to our science. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So, but unequivocally, everybody's looking at Andrew Schultz. Nice. My bad, y'all. I guess truth is still objectively true, even if it hasn't been discovered or defined as truth.
Yes, truth is objectively true. Science is not always objectively truth.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I get what they're saying.
Yeah, I like it. I think Steakums came hard and just kind of put Neil deGrasse Tyson on his ass there with just some very universal knowledge.
It was very much semantics, though. I mean, at the end of the day, is what we're really talking about. It's a Twitter beef over semantics.
You're right, because you couldn't just slide in and actually anybody about anything.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was weird. I don't know why they... Did you read the rest of the tweets, the follow-ups?
Let's see.
Because they have like beef, like actual issue with Neil deGrasse Tyson. They like go in on him.
Oh yeah, I wonder what people thought about their social media guy, because somebody said, "Did you guys get a new social media manager?" Nope. Science itself isn't quote unquote true. It's a constantly refining process used to uncover truths based in material reality, and that process is still full of mistakes. Wonder if that was intentional. Mistakes. Oh yeah, it's spelled like steaks.
Yeah, it was definitely intentional.
Neil just posts ridiculous sound bites like this for clout, and he has no respect for epistemology. Wow.
Yeah, that's insane to me, all of this. I do think Neil's response where he tweeted out an article that he wrote about, like, yeah, literally we're agreeing. Like, I wrote an article about this.
Speaking of actualing people on Twitter, though, it's not as if Neil deGrasse Tyson never does this shit. He's the king
does it all the time.
Actualing people.
No, yeah, he's still. I do agree. He's a little bit of a clout chaser too, like they said.
He's like,
I think they're right.
The poster for Frozen, the snowflake, is actually scientifically inaccurate. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
No, he does that shit. So,
what are you gonna tell me next? The Transformers aren't fucking real robots, dude.
Dude, it's just weird, and Twitter's a weird place where you have a Steakums going against the scientists. It's fucking weird.
Amazing. It is weird. No, I'm with you on that. So, in the sake of being fair and balanced, FoxNews.com reports that Usher did not use fake money, Club says. Can we all get off fucking Usher's case? You know that he did not go in there. I mean, this dude is rich and successful and so, in the public's eye. You can't go in there and do that. So what happened is he was throwing fucking money. They spent thousands of dollars in this strip club, and additionally, he put out a bunch of greenbacks that had his face on it to promote his club or whatever fucking tequila he's selling or whatever. But there's been a lot of people hitting Usher with the whole Usher paid Usher bucks at the strip club, but I don't see the follow-up stories.
Yeah, see, that's what it is.
Yep.
You can't trust this damn media when the real serious stuff happens with Usher.
Did you hear
I
about
never even
this?
saw the. No, I didn't even. This was the first thing I heard about it when you sent me this. I'd never even heard about the original story of the fucking Usher bucks. Like, who cares?
People were like, these strippers work hard for their money, and it's like, do they? I'm not hating on sex
I'm not.
workers, but do they work really hard for it?
Yeah, they're not out there in the fucking oil fields. It's like kind of,
Yeah.
there's levels of working hard. I'm in sales. I sit on my fat ass in an office. Do I really work that hard? I don't know.
Tell me this: if a minor could make him clap and fucking get paid $500 to $1,000 a night, you think he would take that job?
Oh, dude, he would fucking be doing helicopters up on the stage, bro. If he could make that money.
Yeah, man.
You can tell me if you couldn't make that much money just whipping your dick around, you wouldn't.
Oh, dude,
sign me
100%.
100%. I will just lay it on people's foreheads if that's what they want. Pay me.
Okay, so the manager or the owner of the club, Sapphire's director of marketing, reached out to Page Six and said Usher was a true gentleman and a great guest at the club. He and his crew converted thousands of real dollars to tip the girls and dancing on the stage, and he left a generous tip for the staff. Apparently, someone in his team left some Usher dollars on the floor to promote his Vegas residency, and that is where it seems the confusion came in, but real actual cash was used for tips. We would love to host him again. You think Usher's going back to this club?
No, he's not going back to this club after all the drama.
No.
Would you?
I would probably just stop passing out fake money.
Yeah, that's what you did, just everywhere.
No, just stop doing it. Just not do that.
No, I thought you said you would start doing it.
No. I would not hand out counterfeit bills just out of the sheer terror that I might go to prison for it.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, granted, if there were counterfeit bills with your face, it's pretty amazing.
I love the comments section, guys. Y'all are the best. The live chat just always killing it. Throwing Usher buck in the strip club, worthless. Strippers broken heart counting Usher bucks, priceless.
That's a great one. Who said that?
That was Christopher Branch.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man. I don't know. A big fan of Usher. You know, my favorite Usher song is "My Way," and also, go ahead.
Bad Girl.
That's a good one. That's a good
song.
I gotta backpedal a little bit and say it's his first single. You make me want to leave the one.
Oh, I forgot about that. You make me want to leave. Yeah, dude, I love that one when I was a kid.
Yeah. Usher's great. Usher discovered the Biebs. That's right, no doubt.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
That's cool.
Man, then I'm taking it back. He unleashed that upon the world.
Did you hear he gave, speaking of unleashing it on the world, some chick tried to sue him for giving her herpes?
Yeah, that's a real story, though.
Oh, man. That is a real story. Somebody was like, the article that I read was, Usher has herpes, but so does 15% of America. And it's like, well, that doesn't really change anything.
That doesn't change anything.
You're making excuses. You know the author of that fucking story had herpes.
Which, hey, no judging people who have it, but disclose it to your partner. You don't fucking give it to someone without disclosing.
Yes. Agreed. All right. And on that note, we're going to switch over to some Florida man headlines. Usher didn't give that lady herpes. I think you're right. I think he was like, let's see, herpes, Usher. Usher at local movie theater says that he unintentionally gave. Let's see. Usher seeks dismissal of herpes suit. Let's see. Usher seeks dismissal of herpes suit. Says plaintiff knew of unprotected sex risk. Oh, so he gave her herpes.
Oh, yeah. He just disclosed it to her. Which, if he truly did disclose it, that's like I said, that's between two adults.
No, hold up. What he said is he had no quote unquote duty of care because she knew the risks associated with unprotected sex.
Oh, so he's like, you knew.
You know what you were getting into.
Did he knowing? Let's get off the Usher herpes train.
All right, dude. I guess we'll start talking about. Oh yeah, dude. Let's class it up. Let's bring this thing back up to a level and talk about a Florida prison inmate that shoves a cell phone up rectum and escapes through the ceiling. So, Miami-Dade County, because where else? An inmate who is being held on a slew of charges at the Miami-Dade County Pretrial Detention Center is now facing an escape charge after he shoved a cell phone up his rectum and then tried to escape from Jackson Memorial Hospital. I mean, if he was in the hospital trying to escape, did he really have to shove the phone up his butt?
Well, yeah, you always have to shove the phone up your butt. That's step one of everything.
That's right.
Like
Dude,
you guys, you don't do that. Like you're like, oh, going to groceries, phone and butt.
Step one.
Yeah.
Oh, Caleb's covered up. Sorry. Thank you. I keep doing that. I gotta move this window. My God, dude, so many windows open. And then...
I'm just happy I'm able to finally actually use a computer where I can use on the ultra wide instead of my little tiny laptop screen.
Yeah, I imagine so.
It's so nice, man. I'm not looking down on a little laptop the whole time.
What does the phone have to do with anything? Inman Comic Books ask. All right, so according to the arrest, Israel Grande, wow, that's a good name, 32 of Medley, was taken to the hospital Wednesday after the cell phone incident and was given medication to stimulate a bowel movement. Okay, he stuck the phone up his butt and then was taken to the hospital and given laxatives to poop out the phone.
That, I mean, sounds like a game plan. Unless you're going in for surgery.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Now it's a black screen on me, apparently.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, that's not
it's a
good.
black screen. Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, wait, I know what that
son
means.
Son of a bitch.
It's too many windows, dude. Too many
You should
windows.
just pin Random Andy's channel comment totally out of context. Just it says Caleb is black.
I'm gonna try add source. It's good to usually get set up before the podcast, but
yeah, that's how most people do podcasts. That's not how we do a podcast.
No. We're trailblazers.
So
bro.
did he? I'm assuming now it's just me. Man, I'm taking over the show.
Here.
No.
Now everybody shut up.
Did they actually get the cell phone out? Like, how long did this? Do we have a story follow up of the poo phone?
Police say he used the bathroom in his hospital room as a corrections officer waited for him outside the door. Okay, so he's like, I gotta go use the bathroom finally. I'm gonna poop up this cell phone. And he went into the bathroom by himself. They were cool. And then after a minute, they started calling him out by his name and got no response. They opened the bathroom door and discovered that he'd escaped through the ceiling. He was found a short time later on the first floor of the north garage. Grande was then escorted back to his hospital room where he continues to receive treatment.
So it's still in there. Then it's so my question is, what type of phone? Is this like an iPhone mini? Or is this a like Note 20 Ultra?
Yeah, it's actually man. I wonder if it says.
It's one of those old brick.
That's what I was thinking. In my mind, it was a Nokia. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just like the old like brick ones, those old big gray brick ones.
Yeah. Like the first car phones that you could put in a car.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Man. The real question is, was it recording the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool Florida stuff. Let's see what the other one I got for Florida is. Big money, big money, big money. Oh, I like this one. Let's see here. You might want to bring this up on your side. I'm going to show it to the folks at home. It is an inpatient driver in Florida barreled through a traffic arm and jumped a drawbridge in Daytona Beach. For the folks at home, I might not be able to play the whole thing consecutively. I might click it and pause it every couple seconds so I don't get a claim, but let's see what it is. I haven't watched this yet. Yo! I don't know, man.
It's a little disappointing. I was expecting some.
I wanted some Dukes of Hazzard shit.
Yeah, I was expecting a little, something a little more exciting than that.
Yeah, that was like
that was a speed bump.
Yeah, agreed. Well, thanks a lot, Florida. Thanks a lot. You really let me down this week.
Yeah.
You really let me down this week. All right, well, whatever. Probably should have watched that one beforehand, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's a little much.
All right, so I know you didn't see the Fast and the Furious 9 trailer, so tell me about why you decided not to do that.
Actually, I ended up watching it.
Oh, good. What did you think?
Yeah. It looks like Fast and Furious, but there's a split second where I saw Francis Ngannou, which made me very happy.
You look like butt.
Like, that's the only reason I was excited. I'm like, oh, cool, Francis Ngannou's in it.
Is that Han?
Huh?
Is that
no,
Han?
No, Francis Ngannou is, I don't know, just a villain in it. He's the MMA now champion.
Oh, okay.
Of the heavyweight. Yeah, so I was very excited about that.
I did not recognize him. Of course, John Cena is in the trailer as Dom's brother, and I heard the guys on Double Toasted, Corey and Martin, talking about it earlier, and they're like, I can't believe that he's their brother or whatever, and I had to comment, dude. I had to comment because I was just like, they could be like adopted or half brothers. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of ways this works.
There's a lot of ways.
Anyways, yeah, I kind of like the trailer. It kind of won me over, but it is so just mindless. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looked horrible, I thought. But I've never been a fan of these,
Have you liked any of them?
No, not a single one of them. I've only seen the first 3, though, to be fair.
Okay, so I've seen the first and second. I saw the 4th, I think. I saw the 7th, and then I'm probably going to see this one just for the sake of the podcast and everything. But I actually really liked the 7th one. It was the first or second movie review I ever did. I want to say it was the second movie review I ever did. And at that time, we weren't in the swing of going to movies yet, so I was just like really excited. Everything I saw I was given like a fucking 8 and a 9 to, right? I think I gave it like some crazy arbitrary number, like it's an 8.9. What? But it is the movie that they want to make, so that's got to count for something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's yeah, I agree. No, that's, I don't know, it's bad though. That first movie's bad.
Nick Mayfield, you watch Double Toasted? Corey is a longtime friend of my dad's. That's awesome. Well, that's
dude, I love Double Toasted.
Yeah, dude, we're both big fans. Ian Elliott Carter of The Controversy is also a big fan. We're all into those guys. There's a lot of movie channel stuff that I watch. I actually really like the pitch meetings. I just discovered those like a year ago.
Oh, the pitch meetings. Yeah, I just discovered them this year, and they're incredible.
Yeah, they're great. That's what I enjoy. Every once in a while, I watch CinemaSins, and I realized, like, for one thing, they annoy me, and for another thing, that sardonic, smart-assy kind of humor is what I do a lot of times on my own videos, so I can imagine why people are just repulsed by it.
Yeah, they're not into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch a very many, like, film content. I do watch Double Toasted though every so often because they're just hilarious.
Yeah, they're very good. I like Martin a whole lot. His takes to me are on point.
Which one's Martin?
Not Corey, not the main guy.
Oh,
the
Corey.
Guy that always
the
wears
bald
hats.
guy, the older guy. Yeah. No, I like him.
Yeah. All right, so the Fast Saga trailer, I forgot about that. It is very Fast and the Furious, like you said. I do like the cast of these movies. We have had different conversations in the past, you and I in particular, so it's not necessarily something that needs a whole lot of focus drawn to it, and by saying this whole big thing ahead of time, I've actually drawn more attention to it. But the fact that it's like such a mixed cast and does so well financially all over the world is actually pretty much of an accomplishment in itself when you just think about that's not normal,
Is it not?
No. What other big action franchise is 80% carried by non-white actors?
Yeah,
I can
you're
name
right.
one.
Yeah. A series or a movie?
Hit me with a series.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, like
yeah. I see what you mean.
A franchise?
Yes.
Or you can name one. I can't even name a franchise.
I was gonna say Black Panther.
Yeah, but they've only had one movie so far.
You're right. So, anyways, it's not that big of a deal. It's just an observation that I made. This
it's
is a
something I never
billion-dollar
even thought about.
franchise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I never thought about, but you are right. Now that you said it, like I never put the two and two together.
And yeah, you're right. And it probably would matter less to us in general. And I'll never hear anybody talk about it, which is in itself cool. And now I'm fucking that up by talking about it.
Yeah, now you destroyed it. Well, that's when diversity's done the best. Is like when you don't notice it, and it's just because that's how the real fucking world is.
Yeah,
that's when it's the best. That tends to be the most effective way.
I totally agree. That's actually a really good point, man. Army of the Dead trailer. Caleb and I, we both have discussed Zack Snyder ad nauseum at this point. I think it's fair to say that Caleb is a fan. I am not a fan necessarily. What do you think, Caleb, of the Army of the Dead trailer?
Way better than the first one. The first one I was not impressed by at all. Did nothing for me. Still not like, oh my God, I can't wait for this movie. But now, like, oh, I'll watch it. It looks cool. It just looks cool and interesting.
Is it a follow-up to Dawn of the Dead?
No. I mean, pretty much every movie's a follow-up to every zombie movie.
Yeah. Okay, but I didn't know if it took place in the same universe as his previous film.
I don't think it does.
I like the casting in the movie. I really like Dave Bautista. It's always great to see him in stuff. There are a lot of Snyder-isms in this movie. One of the things that I think is very cool about it is he's actually serving as his own DP this time. He's never done that before.
Oh, is he?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
It really is. And I just generalize when I say I'm not a fan of Zack Snyder. I actually like stuff in every one of his movies. I just tend to fall on the side of there are things about them that I don't like. However, I really like Dawn of the Dead. Big difference, while Zack Snyder is serving as the DP on this one, James Gunn was the writer of Dawn of the Dead, so I don't know how much a factor that played and why I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like Dawn of the Dead. I don't love it as much as everyone else does, but like it's a good zombie movie, which is all I want.
Can this be more than that?
I mean, it always can. Do I think it's going to be? No.
Both of us have seen so many zombie movies, and that's kind of the tough part about it for me is just like, how do you make a dent? Like, how do you make an impression when there's so many out there? However, you can see he's going more fucking zombies than we've ever seen before, and he's going like a more prepared team of people going in than I've ever seen in a movie before.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would agree. It's definitely heavier than like he's gone in, it looks interesting. I mean, I do think the introduction of like smarter zombies and stuff and them gathering kind of makes it interesting.
That's a good point. Yeah, I actually like that as well. It kind of ups the stakes. It gives us something a little bit different in it. And it
almost could be a sequel to Land of the Dead. Land of the Dead, they start going into the smart zombies, which I love. Land of the Dead.
It's a really good call.
And then we never got a follow-up. You could almost put this in that universe as well.
Yeah, when you say that, like Diary and Survival are technically follow-ups, but they totally abandoned
all the premise of the last film.
Yeah, you're right. I think that was the last good Romero zombie movie was Land of the Dead.
Yeah, I would agree. I really like that film.
What else, man? What else? Army of the Dead trailer reaction. I did one for Fast and I did one for Army of the Dead, and you can see those both here on the YouTube channel, but I do find it fascinating that everybody that watched the Fast Saga trailer gave it a positive reaction if they did, and then the Army of the Dead trailer, people are not happy about it, and I really think the one reason why is I make a stupid joke in it, and I say, the fact that they're in a casino setting and the fact that Bautista's doing it for money, both those things are cool. It kind of feels like there's going to be some element of subtext in it, similar to the idea of consumerism in the mall and the original Dawn of the Dead movie. And there's allegories, there's symbolism going on. Like Dave Bautista is like Jesus, and then I show Superman from Batman vs. Superman. I've got Dave Bautista's head superimposed on top of it, and I say, you wouldn't understand, you Marvel fanboy, or something to the effect of Dave Bautista's Jesus, and you just don't get it, and people let me have it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, is it's the interwebs.
Do you think I should I clap
Give it
back?
all up?
No.
You should give it all.
Yes. Should I clap back at these people or should I ignore
No,
them?
fuck no. You never feed the trolls.
So I got to not do what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, you just let them, scream into an empty tunnel of loneliness. That's what you let trolls do.
Yeah. Yeah, I have such a hard time with that. I think it's my insecurity or my fucking ego that I can't just let it go. And
dude,
now I
fuck
don't
'em.
have a following, so I feel like pretty justified. It's like if you're gonna come at me, but at some point you're just a bully if you do that. So I definitely have been thinking a lot about that, and I think I should.
I don't know. Yeah, I personally just never engage with people like that.
Yeah, I'm
Or
gonna
thank
work
them
on
for
it.
their view, or just thank them for stopping by the video. Have like a copy and pasted thing. Thank you for your time to watch the video. Just put it.
That's actually a really good
wanna do
idea.
it.
I like that. Impersonal, give them a heart. Just totally undermine their whole thing.
Yeah. Like looking like you did have a fucking PR team that did it. Thank you for watching.
What do you think about Pete Davidson, man?
So I actually don't know much about him. I don't think I've really seen anything that I can think of with him in it. I know he's from that old man show that some people still watch called Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I've heard of those losers. Sad, pitiful
yeah,
people.
Those sad people that watch that show still. That's all I know about him. I really don't know. I heard he was in a movie, some drama that was really good. But
he was in Apatow's last movie. It's called King of Staten Island.
Yes, that was the one.
And it's pretty good. It's not great. It's pretty good. It's also an Apatow movie, so it's like a 2.5 hour fucking dramedy. You're like, dude, dial it in.
Yeah. Man, I'm so sick. Bring back the, 180 minute, or the 90-minute film. Bring back the 90-minute film.
I like Pete Davidson in this weird kind of way. There was another one that he did where he was like a older brother mentor to his girlfriend's little brother, and I can't remember what it was called. Maybe somebody let me know in the comments section. MN Comic Book says Pete Davidson is annoying AF, but I'm sure his movies aren't that bad. Yeah, I kind of like Pete Davidson's person as far as I know, like his curated image, but he's obviously struggles with addiction and mental health things, and I find all of that shit extremely relatable. Like, I think a lot of people probably look at him as crazy, and I'm like, nah, he's the fucking sane one. It's you motherfuckers that are crazy. But he is playing Joey Ramone in a biopic called I Slept with Joey Ramone.
That's a great name for the film.
It's a great name for it.
It's a great name, yeah. I don't know. Are you a big Ramones fan?
Love the Ramones.
See, that's something like I don't have enough experience with. Like, I've heard them, but I wouldn't even, like, I never really dug into their catalog.
I want to be sedated.
Yeah, like there's the hits, but like I've never like gone into it.
Blitzkrieg Pop. Why can't I think of any of their songs right now? She is a punk rocker now. Yeah, dude, love the Ramones. One of my favorite punk rock bands because they're just incredibly influential. But I think this is interesting because there's a slight relationship between Pete Davidson and Machine Gun Kelly because of previous films that they've done together, and they almost seem like they're in like a entourage or some shit, like they're buddies. But he played Tommy Lee in the biopic for what the fuck's the name of that band?
How was that movie?
I didn't like it all that much. It was all right though.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really get into biopics.
Who is that? What's the name of that band? 80s hair metal band. It's not Def Leppard or Quiet Riot. It's
one of the. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I cannot think of that name.
MGK rock biopic. It's embarrassing that I don't.
Motley
It's
Crue?
called The Dirt, and it's Motley Crue. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And then comic books.
Yeah,
I never would have got that.
I don't think I would either.
No.
Which
is crazy. There's no reason we both shouldn't have got that.
No, they're incredibly freaking influential band, and I think I could name Tommy Lee's bands after that even. But Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting to see these guys who are almost synonymous with hip hop culture in a way, stretch and do these rock biopics. So you just now said you're not necessarily a mark for these music biopics or just biopics in general.
Music ones. I mean, just in general, a lot of them, I just don't care about a lot of people unless they did something really amazing besides make music. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anvil. I saw that documentary. That was a good one. And my favorite rock documentary, biopic, 100% true story. This is Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap is incredible.
Oh, dude, it's the best. It's
We
the best.
actually, at work, someone made a Spinal Tap reference today. I was very excited about it.
What was the reference?
It was Turn It Up to 11, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. Because someone said the music was too loud in our group chat thing, and they just posted the picture back of that. I was just doing Turned Up to 11. I was like, yes,
That's
incredible.
good. That's good. My favorite bit that like I steal from This is Spinal Tap is for the last 15 years I've been stuffing a cucumber down my pants to look like I have a larger bulge than I do.
Did you ever like Best in Show? I love Best
Oh,
in
dude,
Show.
all of those Christopher Guest shits are so funny.
Incredible. What was the
A
flute
Mighty
one?
Wind.
A Mighty Wind. I actually think Best in Show is my favorite out of all of them.
I'm a Spinal Tap guy, and then Best in Show would be my runner-up. That shit's so funny, dude.
Mine would be reversed. It would be Best in Show, and then Spinal Tap, then Mighty Wind.
Walk the Line, Ray, and Rocket Man are the only three good docs about music. Oh man, I really like Straight Outta Compton. I thought Bohemian Rhapsody was all right.
I thought Bohemian Rhapsody was all right. Like I didn't love it, and I didn't hate it the way everyone did. Like it was like all of a sudden became a thing that like you had to hate Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, it did. It did. It was like one of those things that got so much goodwill originally that there had to be a backlash after it.
Then all of a sudden it was like, you're an idiot if you like this stupid movie.
Fear of a Black Hat. I've never heard of that one, but we're going to go ahead and switch gears. We've talked a little bit about the Ramon biopic, and now we've got a topic before we go straight into the Patreons, and this one's actually from Random Andy's channel. I'm super glad you brought this to my attention, Andy, because I am a longtime fan of this franchise. In fact, I would go so far as to say the first three Indiana Jones films are probably top 10 action-adventure movies of all time. Absolutely love Harrison Ford as that character and think he's just such a perfect fit for it when he was 30 to 40.
Yes.
As an 80,000-year-old man, I don't know, but there's an Indiana Jones 5 coming out, and some people have joined the cast, including Mads Mikkelsen and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Let's just start from the top, Caleb. What do you think about the casting? Do you like Mads Mikkelsen and Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
Who's Phoebe Waller-Bridge? I don't even know who that is. I should probably Google her.
She created this show. Actually, it was started off as a off-Broadway, like a one-man show performance thing called Fleabag, and then she did an Amazon series. I think there's season 1 and 2. She's very, very good, dude. She also played the SJW bot in Solo. She was the voice of the SJW bot in Solo.
Oh, the worst character in Solo.
Yeah, she was terrible.
Yeah, she was horrible.
But she is wonderful. She's super fucking talented. I really like what she's doing. And I think
she comes off. This is totally judging her based off a picture and not knowing anything of her career. Does she do the whole "I'm quirky" like that's her character thing?
No, dude. No.
Okay, good.
You might put her in that category. I think she's much more she's like a kind of a slut and like a boozer, and she's real shitty to her family. Like it's more dysfunctional comedy than manic pixie dream girl kind of comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know the type I hate, that one character.
Zoe Deschanel.
Yes, I cannot watch anything with those characters in it.
What about the other guy, Mads Mikkelsen? Have you seen Hannibal?
Great. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen is great.
He's really, really good.
He's really good.
I think this is good casting. James Mangold is taking over directing reins.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Is it good?
It depends on which version of him we get.
Okay. What's a bad Mangold movie?
Okay, let's pull them up. Let's pull them all up real quick.
I keep putting you on the spot, but this is just conversationally. I don't think there's a wrong answer.
He did one of the Wolverine. Which one of the Wolverines movies did he do before Logan? Yeah, that's a good example of a bad
You
one.
didn't like that?
Dude, no one liked that.
You're such a weeb. The whole thing's in
What?
Japan.
Yeah, it's so not good.
I love it, dude. All the way up until the last 10 or 15 minutes.
I hated it from bell to bell, man. That was a movie
Man,
that.
damn.
But he did Logan, which is incredible. And then he did 310 to Yuma, incredible.
Love that movie.
I actually don't mind Night and Day. It's just a dumb movie, but it's whatever.
Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. Never saw it.
It's exactly what you expect it is.
310 to
He
Yuma
also
is
did
fantastic.
Copland, didn't he?
Uh-huh. And that movie is great.
Yeah, I didn't know he did Copland.
I didn't know that either. I said yes because I knew you were reading it and I wanted to sound like I knew my shit, but I had no idea.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what a great cast. I just don't know if it matters. Like, the last one was directed by Lucas, and it had, well, not that that's a great thing, but it had Kate Blanchett in it, and Shia LaBeouf, who's actually a pretty good actor, despite not being great in that movie. There's just something fundamentally off about it, and if I had to guess, and I know this is an ageist statement, but I would probably say it was the 70-year-old man running around like an action star.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, there's I know we gotta always play pretend that everyone can do everything, but I'm very well aware now that my fat ass is not an action star.
You are correct, Emo Peter. I'm sorry. Steven Spielberg actually did direct it, which is another huge strike against it.
Of the last one?
Indy 4, yeah, Crystal Skull.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Crystal Skull, I didn't hate it as much as everyone, but it's not great either. I mean, it's not a good film. But to me, so Indiana Jones, first one is incredible. Second one I think is horrible.
Do you?
And I hate the second film. Third one I think is good. But the first is just like impeccable.
Yeah, Raiders is incredible, absolutely. That's so wild, dude. Growing up, my favorite was Temple of Doom. Like,
Me too.
Always was my favorite.
Me too. When I was a kid, absolutely.
It's probably the edginess or the darkness of it, and then going back and watching it later, it's like,
it's so weird that it's a prequel to the first one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's a prequel, yeah. So you should watch them in Temple of Doom, then the second, then the third, chronologically.
Cat Drums 3, I thought the lighting is what made it so bad, as they changed the realistic lighting that the original 3 had, so it looked like the prequels. I think that's an interesting take, and I can definitely see what you're talking about. There's just such a polish to it, and the CGI monkeys was a weird choice.
Yeah, it definitely is in that era of let's throw CG at it when we maybe don't need to.
Yeah.
You know, and those adventure films were already spectacular enough, but there's still something a little more grounded about doing it practically.
It is unfair to act like they jumped the shark with Crystal Skull, because the series always did preposterous things, and the one that I always think of is in Temple of Doom, which is the other most over-the-top one. But when they go out of the back of the plane and inflate that raft and then go down the snow and the mountain, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that whole franchise, well, not the whole franchise, but I don't know. You can accuse it of jumping the shark numerous times.
Question, Caleb. This is from Patrick McCabe. Solo or Indy?
Indy.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, not even that. Didn't even take a second to think about it. Absolutely. I like Solo. They're the same character, but I like Indy a little bit better for
they
some
are the same
reason.
Character. Well, there's more character in Indiana Jones, I think, is the biggest thing.
I think that's what it is. Well, he's the true lead. He's not in an ensemble cast, so you give him a little more room.
Temple of Doom is also edited now, as the original VHS laser discs are the only copies with the original cuts. Interesting. I did not know that. Good old laser discs. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I never had one of those.
No, me either. I had an HD DVD player. Did you? One of the only people who bought that.
That was the
Blu-ray versus HD DVD.
And you had the one with the red Jewel cases, not the blue ones. Yeah. I remember
and the
that.
only reason why is because I literally was like, well, this is going to be Betamax versus VHS. VHS allows porn. HD DVD is going to allow porn. Blu-ray is not.
That's the reason you made the choice?
That was the reason I made the choice, because I'm like, well, one of these is going to die. Let's look at history repeating itself. I'm going to go with this.
That's actually very valid. I would have thought that the reason why you chose it is because everybody else was going Blu-ray, but
no, it was because I literally made a horrible bet and bought a collection.
Yeah, Andy says they lasted only like 5 months.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, the crazy shit, man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Indiana Jones. I really do love those movies, Caleb. I mean, I kind of echo what you say about the order of the ones. I don't know, man. Fucking the third one. Why can't my brain is not working today?
Yeah,
dude.
my brain isn't either.
Sorry about that, you guys. I'm having a tough time. But the third one, whatever it's called, Holy Grail, Quest for the Holy Grail, The Last Crusade. Boom, baby.
Yes, The Last Crusade.
What was I saying? That was really good. The interaction between him and Sean Connery, the father-son relationship's great.
Yeah, no, that's why I think 1, then 3 are the best. And I put 2 and 4 in the same level of pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like 2 at all.
Man.
If 2 came out today, everyone would hate it. And if 2 came out when Twitter existed, everyone would hate 2.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. It is pretty racist.
Not even that. Not even, you're right, it's 100% racist, but not even that. I'm just talking quality-wise.
Oh, yeah. You know? Yeah, sure.
Everything, it's people see it through that rose-colored nostalgia because we were all dumb kids who ate our boogers at the time.
No, I didn't eat my boogers, bro.
Oh, no, that was just me. No, those goblins. No, and I think that there's a lot of things that if they came out now, people would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, you're right. And you're right about the quality thing as well. There would be the whole like critical film reaction to it. But the Anything Goes scene, Patrick McCabe, I like that musical number. You know, Steven Spielberg was like dating or married to that woman at the time.
Yeah.
That's nepotism at its finest, folks. Nepotism at its finest. Anything to add to that?
No,
right.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you, Caleb. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Patreon on my phone then, and we're gonna talk a little bit about our Patreon topics here for just a little bit. I think we got some good ones, and we're gonna wrap this fucker up here in about 30 to 40 minutes, if we can make it that long. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I know. I'm running on fumes today.
Okay, so we talked at Random Andy's channel. Thank you very much for submitting the topic. Couldn't do this show without you guys, and I know that I'm not super active on Patreon all the time. This is a great way for me to at least engage in a way that I feel like is meaningful. I need to put out some exclusive content for you guys, but I really do appreciate the 3 or 4 of you that provide fantastic questions. If any of you want to submit your own questions, head over and check out the Patreon page. I'll put the link down in the description. You can, at any level, you can have your topics submitted and have them discussed on the podcast. And Mark McKeever coming through, man. This one really speaks to my soul because there is a Toxic Avenger remake coming out, and I'm a huge Troma fan.
Dude, I love Toxic Avenger and Toxic Crusaders, the TV show, the cartoon. I loved all of those.
I forgot I had a bunch of Toxic Crusader action figures.
Yeah, dude, I loved it as a kid.
Huh.
That's such a weird thing of our time. Like, that is something that kids loved, Troma. Could you imagine a bunch of kids watching Troma now? It's just such a product of its time.
Talk about, rewinding to our last conversation about how people would just not know how to deal with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, no, it's very, in a lot of different ways. Troma's interesting.
For those of you guys that don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, but James Gunn actually started as a director for Troma. He did Tromeo and Juliet. He was very involved with Andy Kaufman when he was very young. Troma is the most punk rock fucking movie studio of all time. They took risks. They made crazy, crass, violent, sexual, hyper fucking, just such a punk rock flavor, dude.
Punk rock as they come.
Yeah.
It's that whole era of punk rock comics, punk rock filmmaking.
Yeah.
It was interesting times.
So B-movie and Troma fans, get ready to lose your minds because a low-key beloved classic is getting a reboot soon. Troma Entertainment's arguably most popular film, The Toxic Avenger, is getting a reimagining led by Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage. Woo!
Is he starring or is he directing?
He's starring in it.
Is he
That's
playing?
a good point. Hold up.
It sounds like he's like directing or producing.
No, Jacob Tremblay, the little dude from Predator and Doctor Sleep, big fan. He's a really good child actor, considering he was also in Room or The Room. He'll be starring opposite Peter Dinklage in the upcoming reboot of the low-budget yet iconic movie The Toxic Avenger. While it's already confirmed that Dinklage will be playing the titular character of a normal dude turned vigilante, it's unknown what role Tremblay's going to be playing the villain in this, dude. And Peter Dinklage is going to be the fucking Toxic Avenger. This is good news, Caleb.
It's insane, as it should be.
Dude,
all of this is insane.
I love it so much. But the thing is about it is like everything we just now said, can you put a new movie polish on it and not fuck it up?
No, there's no way. Like part of it is that it is bad. Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if you make it bad with a big budget, then it's just a bad film.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do.
It is a tough line to walk, especially when you're going into it with the objective of making it a bad movie, but you've got resources to back it up.
Yeah, I don't pity the person who has to try to make this.
Jacob Tremblay is only the second cast member to be announced, so it's probable that he will appear as one of the iconic figures of the original. Conversely, he may be playing a brand new character who has a large role in the reboot. Wow. So no information. He's 14 years old.
Yeah, no, that's no information. But no, it's cool, but like, do I want to really sit down and watch it? No. It's like cool in concept. Like, oh crap, Toxic Avenger's coming back.
I'll let you know, man. I'll let you know how it is. I'll be watching that very soon.
What would you do if they just went like super dark and serious and he's running around in his little pink tutu?
I will complain to you. It's
like dark and moody and gritty.
That would suck. Yeah, hopefully they get the tone. I was going to say, though, just to play the other side of this debate, aren't these kind of the good movies to remake? Because it's not as if it's a classic. You have nowhere to go really but up as far as quality. Is there anything there?
No, I think it's harder. I still think it's harder because they are classics. You know, like they're not classics in the way that, you know, Indiana Jones is, but they are still classics. And there's going to be a very devoted, very vocal minority of people, as opposed to all the people who've never even heard of it.
Yeah,
you know, who go to see it.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's not a classic in the way Basket Case is or Reanimator. I love dude. There are so many like good little low budget horror movies from the 80s.
I would say, and I agree, both of those. Like, I love Reanimator specifically. I would say Toxic Avenger is more of a classic than Reanimator. Like not like personally, like in the lexicon, in conversation. I think there's more people who have had some connection to Toxic Avenger than Reanimator.
You guys let us know. Let us know. Definitely curious about that. I don't know. I only have my bubble, you know?
Well, I'm saying in this bubble, yeah, Reanimator is awesome. I'm talking like people who wouldn't ever listen to a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Closing of theaters. According to MarketWatch.com, California movie theater chains ArcLight Cinema and Pacific Theaters to close.
That sucks, man.
It does suck. I hear ArcLights are cool, man.
I've never been to one. We don't have any.
Me neither. And I've never even heard of Pacific Theater before.
Me either.
It's closed and will not reopen. After shutting our doors more than a year ago, today we must share the difficult and sad news that Pacific will not be reopening its ArcLight Cinemas. Okay, so Pacific is ArcLight Cinemas and Pacific Theater locations. This is not the outcome anyone wanted, but despite a huge effort that exhausted all potential options, the company does not have a viable way forward. That sucks.
Dude, that sucks, man. It just seems like, I don't know. Like it seems like the world of theater going as we know it is maybe never coming back in the way that we thought it would.
Can I ask you a question, man? What would you be more, or we can only speculate as to how we're going to react to this, but will you mourn the loss of a movie theater or a video rental store more?
Oh, movie theater.
I think it's because I miss video rental stores, but right now I'm like, man, rental stores are the shit.
No, dude, I don't miss rental stores at all. I can go on my PlayStation and pull up anything I want at the comfort of my home. Hell no.
And the end result is exactly the same.
It's the exact same. It's quicker. It's easier. Everything. But movie theater, I can't get that experience. I can put my VR headset on and get as close as possible, but it's not the same.
You know, I just think back to a time, just because I'm a geezer, but like, if you wanted to talk to a movie nerd, you did it at like the Network or the Blockbuster. You know what I mean? Like there was.
I used to go to Suncoast to talk to people about anime because no one even knew what the fuck anime was when I started watching it. Yeah, it was called Japanimation. It wasn't even called anime in America.
Yeah, dude, that's one thing that I did like about it. It was like there was the people who knew, and then there were the people there that were to rent one of 20 copies of Independence Day or like whatever the big thing there was at that time. Did you watch The Last Blockbuster?
No, how is it?
It's cool. It's cool. It's
that is the best way to say it. Shit, you're just like it's cool. He really sold me on that.
I like the topic, the subjects, the family that owns the last Blockbuster. They're like very
unlikable.
No, let's say salt of the earth.
Like rednecky?
Let's say simple.
Like rednecky? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to politely say?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Just like white
salt
trash.
of the earth is not a bad thing. That's like just a humble, down to earth person.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking bad about these salt of the earth people, bro. You're trying to put me in a box.
No, you said that, then you said the other kind of white trash. Just say it. Own it. Say they're white trash.
Yeah, like I'm not. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Like, let me hit this vape now.
Oh, man. All right. Let's see what else is going on here. You didn't see me hit the vape, did you?
No, I didn't see you hit the vape. I've seen you hit the vape about 1 billion times, though.
Ryan Johnson. Well, this sucks. Every single person who worked at the ArcLight loved movies, and you felt it. Sending love to every usher, except for you, Usher Raymond, you cheapskate. Manager and projectionist who rocked that blue shirt and made it such a special place. Roland Emmerich chiming in for the first time since 2012. Thank you for ArcLight Cinemas and Pacific Theaters for the many wonderful cinematic experiences. Cinephiles will certainly miss the iconic Cinerama Dome, which is such an integral part of the Los Angeles movie culture. Have you heard of the Cinerama Dome?
Never heard of it. Oh, yeah, I have. The Cinerama.
Uh-huh.
They're a chain, right? Yeah.
It's ArcLight is a chain. The Cinerama Dome is one ArcLight theater. That's where a lot of the premieres and special screenings.
Oh no, then I thought the chain Cinerama that they have like in Seattle and stuff. That's what I thought it was.
I mean, this is a huge blow because those are a couple of the other franchises that I know of or companies that I know of other than AMC. Is there another chain that you know of?
No, there's
crazy.
Yeah, they're all going away, man.
Huh.
AMC, there's AMC, Regal. That's the only other two.
I don't know a bunch.
No, I'm sure there's more, but
Alamo Drafthouse shut down a lot of fucking locations.
Alamo.
That sucks. All right. And also from Patrick McKeever, Dune cliffhanger ending. Ooh. I don't know about that.
Was that Patrick McCabe or Mark McKeever? Because you said Patrick McKeever.
I said Patrick. Dude, that is not the first time I've done that. I saw Patrick McCabe's name right there. Sorry about that. This is definitely from Mark McKeever. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Caleb, for doing that because there are definitely times that I've listened back and done the exact same thing. Or it'd be like Mark McCabe or some, some dumb shit. Have a series of big screen Dune sequels become an outside possibility or a bankable certainty? In a recent interview, Eric Roth, the co-screenwriter of Dune, makes it pretty clear what's actually in the screenplay he worked on. And here's what it might mean for the future of Arrakis. Well, hopefully we don't learn too much about it. Let's see. Specifically written as the first part of a two-part story. According to him, the writer, it's completely the first half. Yeah, I didn't know that when we started, so I think I adapted a little more than the first half and started into the second half of the book. But I've seen the film. It's pretty much the first half. Fuck, dude.
Okay.
What do you think?
But I think that's great. That we're going to get another one?
Are we?
Yeah, we'll get another one. I don't know.
That's what I'm worried. I mean, that's the only reason why I worry, because I'm 100% in your boat. We both love this filmmaker. Blade Runner 2049 is top shelf, but I would rather take a complete movie than a half of a movie that we never get to see the end of.
That's very, very true. I didn't think of it that way.
He's just such a risky, expensive fucking liability for studios. They're like, dude, if you fuck up again.
I cannot. He's like literally like in the same thing where I would put Zack Snyder, where I'm like, I can't believe people keep giving him these big budgets to make movies. Yeah. Like, it's awesome, but there's going to be a stoppage point. There has to be.
There's some producer that just either has good taste in movies or just has faith in him as a filmmaker, because he really is one of the best working, and he's not a box office draw.
He, for me, might be arguably at least in my top 5 of all time for me personally.
He's definitely up there. Yeah, we've talked, like, he's got an extensive filmography that a lot of people aren't even familiar with, and even those are like, they're bangers, dude.
Dude, they're amazing. Like, he has not made a bad film. Even Incendies, which you still haven't seen yet, you need to check out.
Yes,
it's incredible. It's incredible. Like, he does not make, Denis Villeneuve does not make a bad movie. It's impressive.
Okay, the writer that I was just addressing or mentioning, Roth, is 76 years old and noted that although he wrote a treatment for the second Dune film, he's done as much as he can do. For the movie world context, Roth worked on the screenplay for Forrest Gump and most recently Mank. Essentially, he's a Hollywood legend with a knack for writing epic screenplays focused on larger-than-life characters. In other words, he's perfect for Dune. A moment ago, I was criticizing the fact that Harrison Ford is so old as dirt to be playing Indiana Jones. Yeah. Writers, fucking write away, dude. I'm not trying to sit here and say you can't do shit.
Write until you die with a pen in your hand. Like, die on the keyboard. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, because you don't have to sell taking a hit or jumping over a truck or like whatever. I don't know, man.
No, yeah, I can believe a guy can write anything. Like, I believe an old person can. I don't believe he can, take down a helicopter with a machine gun. Like,
shit, dude. Paul Childress is at work. We actually have to stop the stream and start over.
Start over. Just go do another hour and a half, 2 hours.
All right. What else? I feel like there's one other story here. Suck it, Florida. Agreed. I don't think that's a story. It's more of a statement. But
that's a statement.
Disney offers first look at Avengers Campus at California Adventure Park. Reveals opening date. That's frustrating. You ever been to Disney?
Disneyland, never Disney World.
Okay. How's Disneyland?
Yeah. It's all right. It's cool. I mean, I liked it when I was a kid.
Do they have any of the other stuff? MGM, Universal, Epcot?
The Universal, though, I've heard is crappy in comparison. Like, the Universal's tiny. I actually just went to the Universal not that long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and my company that I was with actually rented out the park at night, and we were able to eat a catered dinner just in the middle of the park. They set up tables, which was super cool, but and got like private access to rides and shit, but it was really small. You're like, man, like going through it with no one there, you're like, this is tiny. There's not much here.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about how different of an experience it has to be when it's empty, because so much of your time you spend in line if it's packed.
Tiny.
And then there's like the anticipation that builds. Like, I like Fast Pass, but really for me, dude, there's a huge part of these attractions, especially at Disney World. I've never been to Disneyland before. I'd like to. But there will be like TV monitors in the zigzagging line where you're waiting, and they're like giving you backstory. Oh, we're about to get on the fucking roller coaster and we're going to go battle with the aliens or whatever. So you're like, it's an immersive experience where when you're waiting in line, there's like storyline that goes along with it. And you're like, oh man, just 30 more minutes and I'm going to be on this 2-minute ride. And I really like that stuff, man. I'm actually a fan of Disney World. I haven't been.
The whole experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
I haven't been to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Avatar Land. I don't know if that's built yet, but there's like a ton of new shit there that I want to see, and I don't know what the Avengers Campus is. It sounds more like an interactive thing than it does a ride. It's opening June 4th. The theme park, along with the next door Disneyland in Anaheim, is finally reopening on April 30th for residents with capacity limits after more than a year of coronavirus shutdowns. Invited to team up with the Avengers and their allies to live out your superhero dreams. Sorry, Caleb, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, I like the more experiences better than I like the
rides.
Rides, yeah, personally. I'm a chicken shit when it comes to rides. I don't do rides.
Is there like a certain interactive thing that you've done that you thought was cool?
As far as like at Disney?
Yeah, any sort of like amusement park.
Yeah, even just going through the Walking Dead haunted house at Universal was kind of dope.
Hell yeah. I can appreciate that as well. Like, I like the interactive experiences.
You also get to like soak it in right now and just like, instead of being gone in a blink, you get to like walk around a set and or even at the Universal Hollywood where you're able to actually take the tram and go through and actually see real movie sets. And sometimes you can't see certain parts because they're filming on it. That stuff's way cooler to me.
Yeah, I like that too. Other elements of the new campus include a Guardians of the Galaxy themed attraction that opened in 2017, a Doctor Strange section, and encounters with a number of Marvel characters roaming the grounds. Well, you can do that right there on the strip. Yeah, there's rides there. There's rides and interactive things. Spider-Man Adventure, which is actually quite fascinating because when you look at the rights of Sony and Disney and Marvel, and then also Universal comes into the fold because there's a Marvel-themed section at Island of Adventure because they somehow bought rights that overlap. So there's like a Marvel land in Island of Adventure, but it's only the Marvel comic book characters. Not including the X-Men. Scratch that last part. I don't think that's right because the Fox contract. But, like, it's a mess, dude. So I think it's interesting that they were able to secure Tom Holland at the Avengers thing.
I would definitely like to go check out Universal and Disney Florida. Definitely want to check. It's one of those things I need to do eventually.
Dude, I would love to meet you guys there or something.
Dude, that'd be so fun. Get up. That'd be so fun, man. Yeah. When all the shit's done, well, I got my vaccine appointment coming up. So
first one?
That's first one. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I'm getting my second on the 28th. So about 13 days from now.
Yeah. My first is on Monday, man. It was so hard to get one.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was like buying a PS5, like just trying to get one.
What are you getting? Do you know? I guess you don't really know till you get there.
I don't know. I don't know. I know I think they stopped Johnson & Johnson, didn't they, for now?
Yeah, because 6 people out of 7 million had blood clots, which could have potentially happened otherwise.
Yeah, no, that's my thing, you know.
But its success rates were like 3 out of 4, so it wasn't great. I did Pfizer, but also Moderna's supposed to be like that good. I'm
assuming it's Pfizer just because I'm going to my wife's work and that's the one she got and everything.
Yeah, that's what Victoria did. I was surprised they shot it into my urethra, though. That was like something I wasn't expecting.
They were like, just shove the cell phone up your ass and now put this in your urethra.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That sounds cool. I really would like to check out just California in general. Have you been, Caleb?
To California? Yeah, that's why I went to the Universal.
Oh, you just know? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So how long does it take you to get there?
From California? From here? I mean, it's not a long flight. It's like an hour flight, hour and a half.
If you were to drive from Denver to LA.
Oh, shit. I don't know. Probably
15 hours?
24.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, probably 20 hours. I have no idea.
I don't either. Let's see. Denver.
I was going to say, I could just pull
LA.
up GPS.
Denver to LA.
Yeah.
I'm very curious, though, because...
I'm thinking 20 hours. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Denver to LA drive time. Okay, it would be...
We're both pretty close.
16 hours and 18 minutes. Yeah.
That's way fucking farther than I thought it was. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why. I thought Colorado was right next to California.
No, not even close, man. We got to go through Utah.
So far away.
Florida zone, yeah. Like, how long would it take me? Not that I would ever drive from Denver to Florida, but now I'm just, because this is what people want to hear.
Yes.
A little Florida drive time.
Guys, let us know where you live. We'll put in your address and see you in a minute.
Actually, that's from Denver to Florida is 28 hours. It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
No.
Considering it's 16 to get to, to LA. Who wants to go to LA?
I would like to check it out just because I like
Have you ever been
and
to
shit.
LA at all?
Seattle?
No, to LA. Have you ever been at all?
No, I've never been to California.
Oh man, I hate California.
Farthest I've been west is Colorado, Silverton, and Durango.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I don't like the whole West Coast Southwest vibe. Maybe because I'm from the Southwest vibe, and it's the same vibe as the West Coast.
We drove all the way from where I'm at now to what I just said, Durango.
It's a long drive.
It took like 3 days with stops, No,
screw that. I wouldn't even drive to Durango from where I'm at. So
let's check the distance real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because that's almost 7 hours. Yeah, screw that. There's nothing in Durango. Why would you go to Durango?
Sydney, Australia. Oh.
Well, yeah, try driving there. See how well that works out for you. I'm sure you could drive onto a boat and get there, but.
Does Universal own Hulk and Namor? That's a really good question, Adam, a fan.
I think they still own Hulk, correct?
I believe so, and I didn't know that Namor was wrapped up in those rights. In fact, I thought he was part of the Fantastic Four deal for some reason.
That would make sense. It would also make sense part of the Hulk deal too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So either one of those I can see. So Mark McKeever says he's from San Diego. So, San Diego is better than LA though, for all things. But still, I wouldn't live in San Diego either. But it is way better than LA.
The Cat Drums 3. I'm actually from Angleton, Texas.
Ooh, Texas. I've only been to Texas once. I like Texas.
It was cool.
One time I went.
Yeah.
I don't have much experience.
I was super young when I lived there, so I'd have no recollection then. But I went to Dallas a couple years back, and it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like we've pretty much run our course.
We ended on a high note of GPSing distances. We really set the bar high right before we left. Leave them wanting more.
Yes.
That was the whole thing we did.
If you guys want to carry on the conversation, you just check Google Maps. You can do this all night.
You can do it all night to your heart's content.
Well, Caleb, I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's always something.
It's always something. Thank you guys for stopping by to check out this edition of the Movies Are Terrible Live podcast every Thursday night at 6 p.m. CST. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the terrible content, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss a video. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, take a second to click the little thumbs up button right there. It really helps out the algorithm. And I wanted to let you guys know before we wrap this thing up that I say be terrible week after week, but I don't mean it, guys. I don't really want you to be terrible, so I'm sorry for every time that I ever said be terrible. I actually want you to have a fantastic fucking week. And we'll see you back here next time. Peace. All right, man.
All right, man. Dude, it's so much nicer using an actual computer.
Oh,
like
yeah.
having a